Welcome to this episode of Tech Talks Unplugged, where we dive into the fascinating world of technology, security, and the unexpected ways they intersect. Today we're discussing an intriguing development that has come to light in the world of USB and web technology. So grab a seat, maybe a notepad, and let's unpack this together. When we think about web technologies, we often hear about WebUSB, a way for web pages to communicate with USB devices. But what if I told you that there's a way to access USB devices without WebUSB? And even more shockingly, some devices are designed to bypass user consent requirements altogether. Sounds a bit like a cyber thriller, doesn't it? Let me set the stage for you with an example. Imagine you have a Raspberry Pi Pico, a tiny but powerful microcontroller. With a little programming, you can load a simple file called u2f-hacks uf2 onto it. Once that's done, and you open an index.html page from a secure context, boom, you now have the power to toggle an LED with just a button click. But there's a twist. This Pico is acting like a U2F dongle, which is traditionally used for two-factor authentication. Yet instead of securing your data, it's, smuggling it. So how does this work? At the heart of it is something called a key handle, which is designed to be an opaque blob of data. But this particular setup takes advantage of how the U2F keys operate. Usually, these keys help associate various websites with a single low-cost security device without consuming too much memory. Think of it as a digital handoff. The dongle doesn't store all those keys. It just retrieves them when needed. Now, when a request for authentication comes in, instead of just providing the expected credentials, this crafty Pico can send back some snazzy data instead. This is where things get technical. The Pico uses an ECDS signature strategy to pack this data creatively. An ECDS signature is typically just two numbers that are calculated based on an elliptic curve. In this case, those numbers can be manipulated to smuggle data. It's almost like sending a secret message in a bottle, where the bottle looks like something completely benign. Now, Chrome, Firefox, they all have different levels of checks for these signatures. Interestingly, while Chrome plays it safe by ensuring the numbers fall within a certain range, Firefox seems more relaxed. What does this mean for our Pikachu-like device? It means it can bypass certain safeguards and send rogue data without a hitch. But let's be clear here. This is not a security vulnerability that's going to give hackers the keys to the kingdom, so to speak. It can't be used to access arbitrary USB devices. It's more about the fact that this particular device is intentionally designed to skirt the rules. However, this highlights an important point about USB security as a whole. Plugging in unknown USB devices is risky business. You never know what you're allowing into your personal ecosystem. So as we wrap up this tech tale, here's something to ponder. In our quest for convenience and security, are we sometimes blurring the lines a bit too much? It's fascinating how a tiny device can encapsulate such a complex dance between security, technology, and user presence. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Tech Talks Unplugged. We hope you found this deep dive into USB emulation and security engaging. Until next time, stay curious and seriously, think twice before plugging in that mysterious USB stick you found in your drawer.